the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on this Thursday. We're glad that you joined us wherever it is that you tune us in. And whenever it is that you tune us in, we're glad you make Auburn Blitz part of your daily watch out there and listen. Glad you joined us. A lot of things going on. Good to see you this morning, Randy, as we jump in. Tons to talk about. Big Cat Weekend coming up this weekend. We'll go over some of the ones that are scheduled, the ones that are confirmed to be there, maybe some more additions before it's all over. Man, what a crazy weekend this is with Final Four going on, Big Cat Weekend, spring football, some portal news we'll jump into here in just a minute, and then, of course, we'll talk about the Final Four. I mean, I think that's probably worth talking about, don't you think? Doesn't come around very often, so I think we need to talk about the Final Four. But, yeah, lots to talk about this morning.
Well, look, most times this would be a big talk going into Big Cat Weekend, which has been a massive success for Auburn all the way back to Gene Chizik when this thing was implemented. Brings as many of the big-time recruits that you're in on into town at one time, so they get to know each other, hope to build relationships, and hope to be able to finalize some deals with some of these guys. And that's what it's become, Brett. It's a deal. It's no longer just recruiting. It's how much money can you get them, long-term deals, advertising and marketing deals around NIL that you can put together with some of these guys. It's just a crazy day and age, but it has been a massive, massive success over the years just with this whole marketing scheme around the Big Cat Weekend.
It has. It's different this year with the dead period changing and things kind of getting bumped up, got to move things around, and it's kind of odd to have it in the middle of spring football practice, but really you got to be first to the dance now. You got to get in front of these guys. You got to get these guys on campus, and you have a shortened amount of time now to do this. So usually a lot later on, when you look at it, the recruiting calendar now eliminated that final weekend in July. So, that's why we have Big Cat Weekend coming up. So who are some of the names that are going to be there? Obviously, a lot of these we know through AHSA and what we've dealt with, and just being able to be involved with calling some of these games and seeing some of these guys in Super 7, in the playoffs, whatever. We're going to get to that list here in just a second, but let's get to some of our partners here on the program. Sensor Green, for air that's cool and clean, call on Sensor Green. They are the carrier experts here in the state of Alabama, saving you thousands of dollars on new unit installs. They are proud supporters of Auburn Athletics and the Auburn Blitz Podcast. Scout Program Management, good to see Sloan yesterday. Great guys, full construction management firm in Birmingham, specializing in educational projects, taking you from the pre-construction phase all the way to the final product. Call on Scout Program Management. Look them up online there at scoutpm.com, and then go to Bunkers, official home for March Madness. Heck, it's the official home for everything. We love the food, the atmosphere, the bars, easy access with the 50 parking spots there on West Glen. Check out Bunkers there in downtown Auburn. We appreciate all of our partners. We'll get to some more of them here in just a minute. All right, number one, top of the list, somebody you and I know really well, Sedarian Morgan. He is the lone five-star guy on this list. Coming in for Auburn at Big Cat Weekend. Everybody that knows you and I, Randy, knows. I mean, we know Sedarian as well as anybody. We could talk about Sedarian probably for an hour on here, but that's the guy he is. Number one player in the state. Number two, wide receiver in some aspects, on some services. Number one wide receiver in the country on others. Just the guy that you want, man.
An amazing talent, just an amazing frame from a wonderful family in Elliott City that produces top-notch talent. I mean, none have quite been to the level. There's a few in that family that would argue what I'm about to say, but in my opinion, none have been quite to the level that Sedarian has, but it doesn't take away from how great that Kelly family produces athletes in the city of Alexander City. And I'm proud for Sedarian. I'm proud for that family. He's a wonderful kid. Faith had the good fortune of catching up with him this past week with an interview that's been watched a good bit out there. And we'd prod you to go out there and find that interview just to see what type of kid he is to go along with what type of talent he is. I told Brett this a few years ago. Actually, had him in a gym with me back when he was in the 7th grade when we were doing a lot of work with a lot of kids. And he walked across the gym and I said, just that one right there is going to be the biggest recruit that we've ever had to come out of Alexander City. And it's played out that way. And the reason is not necessarily, and I do think he could be the best football player we've ever had once it's all said and done, but that's not the main reason sometimes in high school football you're one of the top recruits in the country. The question is, can you go out there from a size standpoint and wow people? Can you run a time? Can you jump a height? Are you strong enough to be able to catch attention out there, Brett? And that's the problem from time to time with high school players. You know, one of the biggest ones that we've got going right now in spring practice is Jordan Crawford. But if you saw Jordan Crawford get off the bus, I'm not sure he'd wow you. But then you turn the film on, Brett, and you're like, oh, my, this cat's unbelievable out there on the football field. But he's not a 6'5", 310-pound Malik Autry that you're getting in from Opelika type of talent. But Sedarian puts all that together, Brett. He's a legit 6'4", 6'5". He's a legit 210. He's been really timed at Alabama and Auburn and other key places in the low 4.5s and the 40. He's got great ball skills that you and I have been able to see, and he's got a great football team that's going to be around him this year, so I bet his numbers will be through the roof.
Yeah, looking forward to us being at those games, Randy. It's going to be fun year for us with Benjamin Russell. Let's go down this list. I'm going to knock some out. I'm going to go down to Jackson, Alabama, and talk about Xavier Crowell, who probably would have been the number 1 running back in the 27 class, but reclassified to the 26 class. Stud. And then guess what? You get Landon Duckworth back there with him at quarterback. Both of those guys will be here this weekend. Good luck anybody playing that team this year.
Well, last year, I think it took St. Michael's was really the only team in the playoff run that was able to stay in the football game with them. And they have an amazing talent in Gunnar Rivers and very well coached by Phillip Rivers. Brett, you were able to go down there and interview that program and you see the growth there. So there's a few private schools in the state of Alabama that could maybe creep up around Jackson, but I think you and I said it more than most last year that Jackson, from an enrollment standpoint and from an athleticism standpoint out there on the field, was probably the best, the most talented team and the best team in the state of Alabama last year. And they didn't lose a lot. So it's going to be hard for somebody to jump up there, but I know there's some teams that are already checking that out.
You know, and I think Landon Duckworth, we'll just stay with him for a second, Randy. I think he's a legit option for Auburn moving forward, quarterback-wise, and in this class to be maybe the quarterback in this class for Auburn. We don't know what Jackson Arnold and Deuce Knight are going to do. You can't see the future anymore in college football. You gotta plan for right now. And again, you can't spend a ton of money and pile up one room expecting all those guys to hang around either. So with that being said, you know, we can speculate that Jackson Arnold may be here for a year. Then the keys are handed to Deuce Knight, and then you could bring in Landon Duckworth or whoever, quarterback, and kind of try to do that. But we don't know that Landon. I mean, we don't know that Jackson Arnold may not stay 2 years. You know, if he's good enough. And you know, this is a guy that Hugh Freeze believes in. And of course, he believed in Peyton Thorne too. And you know, again, not to throw darts, but we know how that worked out. But I really think that you and I seeing him up close and personal in his length and still developing. I mean, you know, this kid was a junior last year and doing what he was doing. He's going to get even better this year. I mean, he's a legit SEC quarterback.
Well, I think he's going to get a lot of offers. I'm not positive if he gets an Auburn and Alabama offer. We'll have to see how that plays out. But
well, I think he's already gotten an Auburn offer. I think he got offered by Auburn at the Super 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see if that's one that holds up. Because
right.
Auburn's not going to get one, maybe two in this
right.
recruiting cycle. And so I've seen him. I'm impressed with him. I saw him in basketball too, Brett. Called one of their games in basketball. So A lot of times you're able to see athleticism out there that you don't necessarily see on the football field, especially at the quarterback position. And
Right.
he's very big. He's legit size. You know, the size that you see him listed, that is for real size. I mean, he is a big, strong-armed guy that can throw the football from, one end of the field to the other. Deuce Knight is much the same. Deuce a little bit taller than you see with Duckworth. Duckworth probably a little bit thicker than you see with Deuce. So if we got him, if he was the pick that Coach Freeze went after, of course I'd be all for it. I mean, I said this on the show with Andy on Tuesday. I mean, I'm one that loves talking Auburn sports. I love doing what we do with our Sports Blitz programming, but my bread's buttered in the high school game here in the state of Alabama. And I like seeing our kids get great opportunities and then them really perform when they get those opportunities, Brett. And we've got a really good class with AHSA from top to bottom. And we got some great quarterback talent coming out of this state over the next couple of years that we'll be able to talk about. So, I mean, think about it. We probably got 6 or 8 of the top recruits in the country at quarterback playing in the state of Alabama over the next couple of years. Now, next year's class is unbelievable in the state when it comes to quarterbacks. But over the next few years, and you can roll down the list, Brett. I mean, and I think Auburn's going to end up with a couple of those guys for sure.
I do too. I think you're right. Justin said over under 2.5 commits by the end of next weekend after big. I'm going to go under. I think it's early. I think Auburn's having to have Big Cat early because of the situation. 2 would be a great deal, I think. Auburn normally gets about 2 out of this weekend, sometimes a little bit more than that. But I think maybe 2. Don't get discouraged if you don't get anybody. I don't think that says anything about it. I mean, these guys still are trying to get to all these places, and again, it is kind of early in the process. So don't get discouraged. I think Auburn's doing fine in the recruiting side. A couple more guys, Randy. I won't go down this whole list. And again, we'll have Jason Caldwell on with us next week, and he'll talk about the visits and everything a little bit more as they cover it in depth on 24/7. Vodney Cleveland, a kid from Parker High School that you and I called in the state championship game, lined up beside Jordan Crawford. And Jordan Crawford right now is getting rave reviews from his teammates. I know Kieran Crawford had a lot of good things to say about him yesterday. And there's a couple more guys that made some comments about him, but just talking about his athleticism at his size. He's not tall. He's 6 foot, but he is massive and stout and quick for his size. And again, those 2 guys were just almost impossible to handle in high school football last year. With Jordan Crawford being here, Vodney Cleveland's definitely one that you want to add to the mix. And, man, he's a good player.
Well, and he does have the size, Brett. Very tall, strong already. I mean, this guy's going to wow you when he gets off the bus. That was what I was saying with Jordan Crawford. He's not going to wow you. You just got to turn the film on and watch the way that he plays. But Cleveland played an outstanding football game in that championship game that you and I had last year, and they needed it. They couldn't find offense, so it was the defense that had to play well to win that football game for them, and they were able to do that with Jordan Crawford being the MVP of that football game. And but I definitely take Cleveland. He was one of those guys. You and I have been doing this for 20-plus years calling football, and the defensive line's the easiest one for me to determine whether you're a separator or you're just a middle-of-the-pack guy. And when you're in high school football and you play on the defensive line and you don't make 3 or 4 plays throughout the game that you go, that guy's way better than everybody else out here on the field. Then either you don't have a motor and you're just a good-looking cat that needs to get off the bus first, or you're a guy that, like Cleveland was in that game where I go, Brett, man, I'm impressed with Jordan Crawford, but this Cleveland right here can definitely play SEC football. And Brett, I'm going to break going, Brett, we need him. We need to get him at Auburn. When you see defensive linemen, and we talk about that all the time on our broadcast, that's one of those positions you can't hide superstardom in the high school ranks, because the offensive line, They just can't match up with those type of athletes.
They can't, and I think you kind of summed it up with him. He's a guy that not only looks the part but plays the part. We've seen guys that look the part and not play the part in the past, and vice versa. Like a guy, maybe you said Jordan Crawford being a little undersized, maybe not pop off at you, looks wise, but then you watch the film and you're like, good God, man, I want to have 11 of those guys on my team. So, yeah, I mean, looks can be deceiving, but they're not with Vodney Cleveland. So just a really, really solid player. Some commits Auburn already has, and we'll be in a few of those. Hezekiah Harris from Mae Jemison, edge rusher, always a important position, no matter what you're doing, no matter what year it is. I don't think you can have enough of those guys, and being able to sub those guys in, especially in a league like the SEC. So you got Hezekiah Harris, and then you got Denarius Gray, a 4-star wide receiver, Devin Carter, a 4-star wide receiver, and then Wayne Henry coming from St. Francis Academy. And, of course, his teammate will be here. He's not committed, but Jaira Edwards, who Auburn's high on, big-time 4-star safety. So you got a couple of those guys, and Auburn's kind of got a pipeline going from that high school up there in Maryland. And so we'd like your chances there with them. But, Auburn with star-studded list, man, again, it's the who's who of what you want in the 26 class.
Well, the beauty of this, I think, not only in the state of Alabama, but in Maryland and a few other places around the country that you see Auburn recruiting, there are programs here in this country that you must be involved with. Thompson High School here in this state, Central Phoenix City, Auburn High School, and keep going down the list. Oxford, Benjamin Russell. These programs are developing year after year after year. And if you're not in there and you don't have relationships in there, you're going to miss out on guys that you shouldn't be missing out on. And that Maryland pipeline that you just bring up is another one like that, Brett. And, if you keep developing that type of talent where we're bringing up in the state of Alabama, a high school up in Maryland, you're doing something right up there also. So I think we're doing as well as we've ever done when it comes to recruiting the high school ranks. It's time for that effort to show up on the field. We've talked to we're blue in the face about football and the quarterback and making the right decision on who that starter can be. But the thing that I do notice and I do hear, and I pay attention to people like you and Jason and others, Bill Cameron, I listened to him on a radio show yesterday, and just talking about how much you wowed by the two quarterbacks, namely Deuce Knight for one, that you're really wowed with athleticism and the ability to throw the football on a dime and pretty much anywhere on the field. All of these other pieces that you're working so hard to put in place will work their way out if we get that quarterback position right. But I tip my hat to Hugh Freeze. I think he's got a couple in there that can really put us back on the map and in the SEC play if we can pick the right one to take the reins.
I'm genuinely excited. I mean, I told you that after practice the other day. I watched them, and I really, the talent's there. I mean, this is not a matter of can these guys go out here and perform. I mean, the ball just completely jumps out of Jackson Arnold's hands, and I've never seen a guy as effortless as Deuce Knight. When we saw that in high school, we saw that in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. It just looks like, I always say this, I say this, it looks like he's in slow motion. Mm-hmm. Good, really supreme athletes, look like they're just never under duress and never under any type of panic. And, just everything is just so smooth. And that's what he looks like. Even out here now is a guy that just graduated. I mean, let's be honest, he still should be, in high school. And the guy just comes in early, and he's out here with, SEC football players that have been there 3 or 4 years. And he's just kind of like, all right, just another day at the office. And so, yes, can we put the pieces all together to give them a chance to really showcase what they can do? The offensive line, I asked that question to Coach Freeze in our little grouping over there. Everybody was enamored with receivers, and that's what everybody's talking about. We're talking about it too, but I wanted to know about the offensive line and the confidence of that, because if you don't have that, I mean, we all know what that's been like for the last 12 to 15 years for all.
And we haven't had it. You're right.
And so if that's not good, it doesn't make a rip what the receivers do and what kind of running backs you have. And, your quarterback can be good, but if he's running for his life and it's disrupting, there's no timing on anything, then it just all doesn't matter. And that's where Auburn's deficiencies have been offensively, is at the trenches. Now, I think it's poised to be really good. I mean, and you heard what Coach Freeze said. He said, I really feel good about our depth. You got 9 or 10 guys, and once we get everybody back, I mean, Too Tall and Connor Lew are out right now, just nursing some things, just precaution and all, trying to get back. And but need to see that full group out there when it comes time for fall camp. And man, they've got to perform. I mean, they have to perform. It's going to dictate what this offense is able to do.
Well, and I'll mention the show again because I did enjoy it yesterday. Jason was on with Bill Cameron on the drive, and Jason made this mention around this, and he probably has on our programs with you this week too, Brett. I haven't had a chance to tune in when he was on there, but he made mention about the offensive line. What year was the last year that Auburn had an offensive lineman drafted in the top 2 rounds in the NFL draft? And it goes back to 2018. And that's way too long ago. And it's not, can you put a good offensive line together? You got to have a couple of difference makers too. And when Auburn's been great, and I mean like championship caliber great, we've had big time difference makers, Brett, from the Lee Zimbas to keep going down the list. Robinson, I can keep going down the list of guys that have even Braden Smith.
Yeah, Braden Smith's the one that pops in my mind.
Well, as long as Braden Smith keeps coming up, though, we're in trouble. You got to have somebody to counter with the last great offensive lineman.
He's walking with a cane.
Not
really, but I mean,
we did the same with basketball for a long time. We used to go back. I think there may have been another guy
Marquise
was drafted in the NBA, but Marquise Daniels is the last one that I can remember.
I mean, just every year, just keep hanging your hat on one dude.
We ran through that for 10, 12, 15 years, and the offensive line's been a little bit like that. So that needs to change. I think the talent's there, but the talent looks a lot better when those pieces come together, and everybody looks a lot better when that quarterback piece comes together. So that's where it all starts for me.
Yeah, a couple more things before you roll out of here, Randy. Just, from a perspective, you got A-Day coming up next week and next weekend, and, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be more of a scrimmage. Alabama kind of canceled theirs this week and going to move it to more of a scrimmage. So you're seeing the traditional A-Day games go away, and, it's just where we are in college football. And, again, I haven't been to really many A-Day games in the last 20 years. I mean, I just remember it used to be probably over the last 10 years, you wanted your A-Day game on TV. It was a marketing thing. You wanted it on ESPN or SEC Network. Now it's like everybody's like, cut the cameras off, man. We don't want you here. We're trying to hide everybody. So it's really crazy how it shifted.
And it shifted for good reason. I mean, we're out there trying to steal each other's guys, and it's a sad state of affairs, but it is what it is. And it goes back to the scheduling that you and I bring up a lot. If things change, you've got to be able to allow these coaches and programs to make differing opinions than what they made a few years ago, and things have changed drastically. With the playoff being the way that they are, with the transfer portal just continuing to open up, you can do whatever the hell you want to. You can leave whenever the hell you want to. I mean, it's a wild, wild ride out there. And so you do have to change. We can't just keep staying stubborn and doing things the way that we've always done them. It doesn't work like that anymore. So I do I'm hoping we get the coaching up to the level and the play up to the level that we're all hoping to get to, Brett. But I'm really happy with where we currently stand from a recruiting standpoint, from an efforting standpoint with NIL and the transfer portal. I think we're getting all we can ask for there.
I agree. I think Coach Freeze, we haven't questioned that aspect of him since he's been here. Been very impressed with what he's been able to do and build depth. I think we've finally gotten it to a point. But let's just be honest. I mean, this is year 3. Got to have some results. He even said that in his opening press conference of the spring. So got to win some games, got to get some results. And that's where we are now. So got a good enough roster to do that. The schedule we've talked about it ad nauseum, and we can break that down 6 ways to Sunday, but just got to go win. And Auburn had a winning season in 4 years. Okay, that's almost makes me want to throw up when I say that. So hopefully that's going to change. Somebody asked me yesterday, said, "What do you think? 9, 10 wins?" I said, "How about 7?" I said, let's start. I mean, let's just get over the below 500 hump, and then I'll be fine with it. So, good stuff there on Big Cat. Randy, a lot more that we'll talk about later on. I know we'll be back on Saturday for Saturday Sports Countdown for everybody to tune in. We'll have 2 full hours there that we'll get to talk about a lot of these prospects and some guys that we know maybe a little bit more in depth.
We want to prompt everybody out there as Faith comes in. We've got some new content that we're rolling out. We want to thank all of you for finding us and subscribing to our YouTube channel and social media outlets. I'm about to walk out of here and go make about 40 high school posts today. I will let you know if you've got talented kids in your region, if you've got high schools that aren't getting anywhere near enough attention as they should here in the state of Alabama, that's what we do. We want to come out and we want to do interviews. Faith had a great interview, like we said, with Sedarian, and we've got quite a few more, but we need to hear from you on storylines that we need to cover. So thanks for finding us, but we need your help. Pass it along. Comment to us on what's going on out there. Lee Apparel and Sign Source or 2 divisions over there in Auburn, here in Dadeville, that we're continuing to work on. Contract screen printing, DTF machine, athletic apparel, promotional products. Give us a call at Lee Apparel, and from start to finish on your next signage project, from vehicle wraps to lighted signs to we've got a new digital board going up in Auburn where you'll see Brett and my ugly mug along with Faith on that digital board here, spotlighting Auburn Blitz here.
You just cut my face off, Randy.
Well, if I could, I would, buddy, but I got to keep it up there. And but 256-825-0197 is the phone number, and we can work with you on those projects too. Thank y'all. Looking forward to it.
Hey, Randy, before you get off, I got to tell you that you'd be proud. Malcolm was repping his Ben Russell jacket at interviews the other day, so he looked good. He's gonna keep repping the BR. That's for sure.
Let's have him rep Morgan over there with him, and then you and I.
Well, we're working. We're working.
Okay,
all right.
good deal.
All right. See you, buddy. All right, man. What's up? How are you?
Hey, good morning.
Everything good?
Everything's good in the hood over here.
Well, we were supposed to have Lyndon with us this morning, and she texted me like, I don't sleep, so I was up anyway, and she's like we've had 10 tornado warnings, and the weather's been horrible, and can I bump to tomorrow? And I said, of course.
Yeah, one of my girlfriends over in Arkansas is getting
it's terrible
hammered right
now.
It's
just really bad weather
last night, but yeah,
it's terrible weather. Going to continue to be bad weather over the next few days, and thankfully it's north of us. As I look out the window, everybody's like, "What are you looking at?"
I know. I was literally about to check my weather app.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's the bad stuff is north of us, which is really
it's supposed to be beautiful today.
I know it's not beautiful right now. So, but I think it is supposed to be a little bit.
8? Are you kidding?
I have that has no bearing on me, by the way, and as most people would know. And look, I do brighten up with the light a little bit, but that's it. I just don't need to go out there.
You got a really good sunglasses tan the other day.
I did, and it'll get worse as the summer goes on, and as I fish, I'll have coon eyes big time. Y'all will be like, man, he needs to get like something to go around, and you don't look like you've just been staring at the sun the whole time. But anyway, let's talk about some more of our partners. Speaking of outdoors, Sure Shot. Can't wait for turkey to get out there and kill some turkeys, and turkey season's underway, and excited about it. It's the official home for us for all our outdoor apparel, firearms. I get all my stuff there. You need to do the same. 256-329-0080 on Highway 280 there in Alexander City. Make sure you check them out. Oliver Ross, a full-service bartending service. Can't say enough about Oliver Ross. They handle your weddings, your events, your private events from 20 up to 20,000s, licensed and insured professional bar services. You can call them at 256-496-2212 or hit up my guy, Mark Gilliland. He'll take care of you out there. We're excited, Faith, to have 2 new ones on. Started yesterday, Old Number One Customs and JFA Blue Plumbing. And let me tell you something, Old Number One Customs, if you want to try to figure out what to do with your tax return, you need to remodel your house, this is what you do. Call on Old Number One Customs, and they have 0% financing, get you done, remodel of kitchens and bathrooms. And that's always the popular thing to remodel, by the way, are kitchens and baths. And if you're wanting clean water, they'll come in and they'll install that home water filter system at below $2,000, which go check the prices. That's unbelievable deal. 0% down, 0% APR on financing. JFA Blue Plumbing. Again, I can't stress the importance of your health and having good, clean water to drink. And I know you think, well, I can just go to the tap and get it out. You'll be amazed what those filters pull out of that. So if you ever see something, it'll make you go, I ain't ever drinking stuff straight from the tap. We used to drink out of the hose pipe and everything else. So it's a wonder if we're still here now. But that's just the way it goes. Don't do that. Go check out JFA Blue Plumbing there. All right, let's dive into some things. Justin said cautiously optimistic. Yep, you're going to keep riding me on that. I get it. We're going to unveil, just stop for a second and talk about Faith's new series that she's going to be having through our Auburn Blitz platform here. It'll be On the Front Row with Faith Richardson, and Cooper McMurray interview will be coming out shortly. Since our guy Justin is on with us, we want to say thank you very much. His graphic work and all. I'll let you have the floor, Faith.
Yeah, Justin, you have been so awesome and accommodated with our schedules. And I mean, you've gotten this done in less than 3 days from when we actually shot it. And so a huge thank you to you. And Brett and I are going to be learning a lot more along the way on how to be able to do some of the things that you were doing. But we're going to learn. But thank you so much for all of the help and assistance that you've given us and the hard work. So we really appreciate it. And we would not have been able to do it without you.
Yeah, boatload of money later. I'll be all trained up and ready to go with the best equipment around. So it's great. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be honest with you, I've kind of already seen it. Everybody, it's really, really good. So you're going to have to watch it as well. Just very impressed with what Faith's been able to do in the first couple. And then we're going to be doing this every single week and highlighting different players. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for y'all to see the first one here coming out shortly. Big news in the portal for Auburn in basketball yesterday. Keyshawn Hall. Faith, you and I talked about that the day before. I said, look, man, this is a guy, everybody's watching, he was the number one power forward in the portal, and he can play point guard too, but he's 6'7", averages 18.5 points a game at Central Florida. I watched film on him for a while last night, and good Lord, I mean, his ability to drive and move and his shot's great, but his ability to get to the rim and his length, and he's not skinny. I mean, he can move, and he's got enough bulk to get in there and kind of bang around. So this is a massive pickup for Bruce Pearl and this Auburn basketball team. And as they arrived in San Antonio, I thought yesterday until I saw some of those videos, I'm like, I don't know, they may have taken a wrong turn. Some guy with a crown and sash and all that. I'm like, daggum, I think he went to the Middle East instead of San Antonio. But anyway, just a big pickup for him as Auburn's going to have a lot of guys to replace.
Yeah, absolutely. I was there yesterday at the Reverse Tiger Walk. Got to see everyone walk to the charter buses. Also got to watch a little bit of practice, and I watched them do free throws at the very end. And everybody, the energy was there in practice, and obviously walking out too. So everything that I've said about the energy and that we've said about the energy and kind of excitement surrounding where they're at. Yesterday, it fully convinced me that they're ready. They're ready to go. They were excited in practice, and then walking out, they were excited too. So I'm optimistic. I'm looking forward to Saturday and seeing what they're able to do. So
Yeah, me too. I'm excited for the game. I think everybody is. I think that's an understatement. But yeah, I mean, again, it sucks that you're trying to plan to play in a Final Four and you got to be taking Zoom calls. And I mean, you got to do all this or they're not going to be there. Somebody else is going to come in and snatch them up. I mean, we saw Adrian Woolley from Kennesaw State, who's from Tuscaloosa, end up going to Louisville. I mean, these are all guys I think, Auburn's been in on. I mean, the next guy up probably we're going to be watching is Flory Badunga. I mentioned him yesterday from Kansas. He, I told that story. Felt like Auburn had a shot at him, or it was down to us, and Kansas felt like he was going to commit to us. And I think the rug kind of was pulled out from under this Auburn coaching staff with them going to Kansas. But you and I talked about this. Could be another Walker Kessler situation where you go off and then you spend a year somewhere and you come back and it ends up being a good deal for you. So all eyes there with Flory Badunga, and then there'll be some other guys that we'll talk about later on. But just wanted to kind of give a little update there on the portal. But that was big for Auburn to get Keyshawn Hall from Central Florida.
yeah, and yesterday, I didn't even send this to you, but I saw a lot of the Auburn social media, like Auburn fan kind of based social medias, talking about Tahad maybe going to the draft after this year, that he'll be a first-round draft pick. What are your thoughts on if he should stay or go?
He just recently moved up into a couple of draft boards in the very bottom of the first round. You would like to think, yeah, first rounder, yeah, but 30th pick, I think I saw that by way of Oklahoma City and then maybe end up at New York through trade. Maybe that goes up to 26 or something like that. I'll stay one more year. I think his NIL deal will be really good. And he's going to get even better. I think his draft stock will improve. So that's my little 5 cents worth on what I think about Todd Pettiford. Now, again, he'll have some guys that analyze this, and if he wins a national championship, that could change things too. And especially if he's the reason, and he's going to have to be the reason, or one of the big reasons why Auburn, if they win it, it'll be through him. But that'll garner even more attention and praise for him, and that will only help his draft stock there. It will. So we'll see. I mean, it's interesting to see how this will all play out. But like Mark just said, pay him. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
I think we're going to need him next year for sure.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's a priority.
The experience too of being coached underneath Bruce Pearl, like who doesn't want that? I feel like I say that every single time we talk about the coaching staff.
Well, that's what Keyshawn Hall said. I mean, he said, I want to be coached by the best in the country. And so, yeah, I mean, that along with all the assistants, and then you had Caden Magwood coming in this class, who is a dynamic guard as well. So, I mean, yeah, just it's a reload process. Let's be honest. I think, this is an Auburn basketball team, which is odd to say that is a Final Four team that's going to be able to probably sell some playing time to people. I mean, that doesn't normally happen, but that's the new day and age of college athletics now. I mean, it's just odd to say that, because normally if back in the old days, if you're Final Four team, means probably you got several guys that'll be back next year, and you don't have. I remember the days where you only recruited 1 or 2 guys every year. Like, we might have room for 2. And then, it's just depending on what year it was. Now, I mean, the whole roster flip over for most teams.
Yeah, it's all I've known. So,
yep. That's right. There's your age reference for the day. You got that in subliminally. So, all right. So Final Four. And again, we'll talk more about this tomorrow as we preview the game. But Florida, the more I think about it, I think, again, using ammo and trying to figure out whatever you can, not that you need extra motivation, but they did lose to this team. And, I would want to avenge that loss. And, all you've heard is people go, well, it's this, Auburn's kind of tailed off and, whatever. And then now all of a sudden Florida has done that. And so Auburn may have picked up a little momentum off the last two games. So maybe the things have kind of flipped. But anyway, regardless of that, I think use that as motivation. Say, I want to avenge one of the few losses we had. We didn't play well at home. There's a lot of things that we can adjust and do better. And let's go see what we can do. So
absolutely. We need to catch them on, kind of set them up for an off night almost by just going out there and having the first half of the half be our game and throw them off for the rest of the night. And then going out of the halftime, we can't let them come back. And we've seen them do that throughout this tournament.
We have. And so I just want, Auburn's out there. They arrived yesterday afternoon. They're going to get acclimated. And so, again, in the Alamo Dome, it's going to be getting used to for all these teams. So very important walkthroughs and practice sessions for them to get ready for this game at 5:09 on Saturday against the Florida Gators. So, all right, lot there sandwiched into 40 minutes. We've got a lot going on here with the Auburn Blitz. Again, we want to thank all of you for joining us each and every day, whenever it is that you do that. Continue to spread the word, please, and send that out. David said, great show, almost as good as your dance moves. That thing kind of went crazy the other day. So, yeah, looking forward to a great weekend and amazing basketball. David, thank you so much, man. Only if I could dance as well as you. So I was second fiddle to you on the dance floor. But, yeah, that was a lot of fun with our daughters. We did a good job of embarrassing them. I do a good job of doing that anyway on a daily basis, so I figured I'd just throw it all out there. I'm just glad I didn't blow my knee out. But I was impressed. I survived a little bit. But yeah, I got a ton going on. Please find us, subscribe, and if you haven't already, you can be watching and have not subscribed yet. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, that alert button, so you can get the alerts when we get on every single day at 8 o'clock. And then, of course, our Auburn Blitz show at noon every day. And we love it, man. And we appreciate everything. We'll be over at practice some more. Faith and I don't even want to try to look at the schedule over here. It just blows my mind. We just try to get through it. But lots going on, but very blessed, and we appreciate all of you out there. Thanks to all of our partners. Again, we can't say enough about them. And Scout Program Management, Sense of Green. I can keep going down the list. Obviously, Bunkers. You got Oliver Ross. I always want to say Ocean Bells because that was Mark's other business. JFA Blue Plumbing. All of the great ones. Sure Shot. We just got a bunch. And really, really appreciate Number One Customs. So all of you found us, and we appreciate it. It means the world to us. And if you want to add into what we're doing here on the Auburn Blitz podcast, we're going to try to provide you with the best content possible on Auburn athletics all the way around. So, Faith, anything you got to add before we jump off?
No, I hope everyone has the best day ever.
There you go. I'll let her end that way every time. That just kind of gets everybody off to a good start. How can you not have a good rest of the day after that? So, All right, everybody, have a best day ever, and go out and be good. Do some good things out there, and a big O.
War Eagle.